wood lathe sitting around your workshop, you don't use it much, and you always wanted to turn some bowls? Well, I'm going to show you how to use something like this, and the wood block, no chuck required, and you can make a bowl like this or even bigger. So let's do it. Hey, Ray Ruthin here. Welcome back to the woodcrafting place. Today we're making a bowl. That's right, the project is we are making a bowl. But we're going to go through my process of bowl making. We're going to take this nice piece of birch, make a small bowl out of it, but I'm going to do it without a chuck. So I'm going to show you how to do the entire bowl with that faceplate that came with your lathe. You'll be able to pretty much finish your whole bowl without the chuck. And we're going to do it with a lot less setup, back and forth and back and forth. If you've seen someone do a twice turn bowl or a normal bowl turning, Mike Mahoney or someone like that, the bowl flips back and forth several times. Every time you turn a bowl around, you run the risk of it not being exactly centered. All right, lost blank. Bowl turning. So, as with a normal bowl, you're going to start by turning a blank round. Nifty fixture. You just go round and round. And there we are, we have ourselves, you can see, the basic circle. Now it's ready to go to the bandsaw. We start with our bowls over the bandsaw, and the first thing I need to do is I need to get this flat. Use basic scrap materials that I had lying around. You can see the design, it literally just has some brackets. Now what we do is we want this, looks like I want it to be here. I need this to be 4 inches wide.
You had one job.
So we're going to have to adjust the fixture a little bit. Oh, and for those of you who want to see, this is how we get our adjustability behind the fixture. There we go. Next stage in the process is making the lost block. It's actually 4 1/8 because it's the drill size 4 inch, so this needs to be 1/8 inch bigger. We'll glue that on, and there's a secret to gluing it on. We'll do that now. Now we're using the lathe for more than just turning. We're going to actually use it as a clamp. And notice we have our one center here and a standard spur center in here. That's going to hold us nice and centered. Save yourself a little work, unnecessary cleanup, by putting that down on your lathe bed. Lock that in. All right, so it's been an hour. Actually, it's more than an hour. I had to come back to this the next day. So now we're going to take the faceplate. I'm going to use the inner holes here instead of the outer holes. It's a pretty small bowl, so I'll probably use up some of this material when I curve it. So. Right before we put in the lathe. Now I'll mark my drill. Better safe than sorry. Drilling to the depth isn't actually required. I just found it to be much quicker and easier to know where to stop. And hogging out wood can be a little tedious. So as I'm going through and turning the bowl, notice where the cutter edge is. The bevel of the chisels, whether the gouges or the bowl gouges, always right in the bevel. That's the part of the chisel below the cutting edge. Doing this helps prevent any catches or digs. And here you see I'm doing a push cut with bowl gouges. To get a fine, smooth final cut, you want to do your best to use push cuts. And then we get to final form. We're taking a very fine shaving. Next to the inside, this is even more critical that you use the bevel. Make sure at all times that bevel's riding against the wood. A catch at this point would be real messy. Now moving on to final form for the inside, I use a bowl scraper and I tip it up on the edge. That way the fine burr on the edge of the tool is what's doing the cutting. Sanding. As the bowl turns, as you can see, I use rotating sanding pads. That way I don't get any linear marks. It's a really clean sanding operation. Once I've finished sanding through my final grit, I'll typically spray the bowl down with water, get it soaking wet to rinse the grain nicely. Once I've done that, I'll go back and redo the final grit all over again, and I'll sand both them forward and with the lathe running in reverse. That way I really get a good cleanup. Just be careful when you're going in reverse to make sure that your faceplate is locking, that way it doesn't spin off in reverse. Now as I go to cut off the bowl, you want to make sure that in my technique, the parting tool goes in at a slight angle. That way you end up with a dished bottom and it always sits flat. And then last, with a back saw, I just cut the bowl off. Okay, last step before we put some finish on the bowl. We have to clean off the little nub. You can see it there, right there. That way we have a nice smooth flat bottom. So to do that, we're going to put some nice insulation down on the drill press bed so that way we don't muck up the face of the bowl. Nice gentle tap. So let's put some finish on this. Walnut oil has become my go-to finish for most bowls. Walnut oil, it's heat processed. It is drying of all the natural oils. If you decide to choose something else other than walnut oil, make sure whatever oil it is, that it's a drying oil. Many of the natural oils don't actually dry, and if you leave them on there without proper treatment or retreatment, they will get rancid. I'll do this 3 times. Unlike poly or something like that, you don't get brush marks, you won't get swirls. This coats and fills in the grain very evenly. So you get a beautiful, as you can see, you get this nice, beautiful, dark finish, very rich in appearance. Also, unlike polyurethane, if dust does settle on it, and I'm not recommending you let a lot of dust settle on it, it's not a big deal. It just wipes right off. It'll wipe off with the excess. This doesn't have a hard film like a polyurethane or a lacquer or something like that does, and trap dirt or dust inside the film. It's a really excellent, and it penetrates. So the trade-off, polyurethane seals the top, puts a layer on it, but if it chips or cracks or scratches, there's no protection left for the wood. This penetrates deep into the wood. Now it's not as hard, so it will scratch or dent a little easier than the polyurethane will, but the penetration is all the way through the wood. All right, so we're all done with our nice lost block bowl. Remember, we started with a wood block that was mounted, glued to the back of the wood blank, the log blank that we started with. And we'll just take that out, use it for scrap material or whatever. There's our finished bowl, ready to go. We did it in one setup, inside, outside, cut off, left just a little small nub on the back that we came back and cleaned up with a Bossner bit. So if you like what we saw today, don't forget to hit the thumb and like, and let me know that we're bringing you the right content. Don't forget to subscribe to and hit the bell. That way you get notified each week of all the things that we do in all the projects and the woodworking knowledge. There'll be links down in the description below of some of the materials that we use, the finish, what have you. So take a look. You can start out this way. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you watching to the very end. I will see you again real soon.